All right, making a little progress today on the Factory 5 car. Got the suspension set at ride height, and we're doing the initial alignment. Got it hooked to the alignment machine here. Things are looking pretty good. We run quite a bit of positive caster on the car. You can see here the ball joint sitting pretty far back. We're in about 10 degrees of positive caster because this car is going to have power steering, variable assist power steering actually. Here's the reservoir for it. And we've got a few things mounted on the engine and the engine compartment. Oil filter housing is on, brake, master cylinder reservoirs. Starting to get it all tidied up and get it all finished up. Of course, we don't have the sway bar completely connected yet. That'll be one of the last things we do. And of course, we'll go through this process again. Once the car is completely built and together, we'll reset the ride height and double check the alignment. I like to do the first alignment now. It's easy to get to. There's no body work in the way. Most of the aluminum is still out of the way, so it goes pretty fast. Now that the alignment's finished, we're ready to continue with the final assembly of the project. We've got the upholstery on the dash, the gauges oiled, gone ahead and riveted the rest of the aluminum into the cockpit, some of the panels towards the rear of the car. Of course, this has allowed me to install the sound deadening and move forward with the installation of some of the carpet and some of the upholstery. Much easier to do this now once the body is on the car, so we try to put as much of the upholstery as possible on it before the final assembly with the body included. Also started on the wiring harness, and we'll take a closer look at here in a moment. Got the fuse box in place there where we can get to it if we blow a fuse in the future. Also, we've got a little tray here for our relays for high and low beam, fuel pump, and horn. Of course, it looks like a big spaghetti mess right now, but what we're doing is organizing and setting all the wires to which direction of the car they go to. We've got some of the wiring here that goes behind the dash already. You can see our MSD ignition system and the cruise control box down at the end. This car is going to have a full functioning cruise control with a hidden trap door to activate it, which would be right there. There's your controls for your cruise. Close that up. One of the other little touches we've done is added these braces, these tubes. One of them actually conceals the speedometer cable. The other one contains the wiring that travels to the rear of the car for your tail lights, brake lights. The carpeting is underway. Of course, it's messy at the moment. We're in the middle of it and still needs to be vacuumed out. We've got a nice heel pad here. You can see it's coming together pretty nicely. Moving to the back, we have all of the wiring running through this convoluted plastic tubing, of course. It's all protected all the way to the rear of the car. Now that we have it draped to the rear of the car, we'll need to take and hook up our fuel pump, fuel gauge sending unit, inertia switch, tail lights, all of those things. Blue tape helps to temporarily set everything into place while we plan where we're going to secure it with our clamps and fasteners to hold it all down. Now you may be curious as to why we have this little loose flap on top of the dashboard. This is intentional. This is actually going to be a filler for when the body sits down on the car. Sometimes the curvature of the dash and the curvature of the body don't mate perfectly together, and there's a possibility of a slight gap. This will take up any of those imperfections and give it a nice finished look when it's all done. We've got a filler panel that go from the bottom of the dash to the front of the frame there, and it's held in with machine screws and nut zerts so that the dash can be removed easily if you have to do anything, replace a gauge possibly, or do some work behind the dash. It can be taken off and set out of the car pretty quickly. Alright, we've got the rolling chassis sitting on the ground. Just got a few hours of work left and we'll have it running and it'll actually be drivable. We can do our initial test drive. We'll just kind of do a quick walk around this morning, show you where we're at and what we've accomplished. Most of the interior is done. The seats are only temporarily mounted at the moment for the initial test drive session. We'll have to remove those again to finish the carpeting that goes behind them. Shifter is in. We've got our kill switch installed. Just need to tidy up some of the wiring, install the plug wires, finish off the throttle linkage. A few little details. We've got our radiator installed with the electric fan. Just kind of do a quick walk around here as we get a little bit closer. A lot of these items will be concealed once the body is installed, so I thought we'd show them to you now.